most exclusive asphalt in the world. 1,000 horsepower at your command. Speed like you've never known. Millimeters between fame and failure. Milliseconds between first and forgotten. Take your seat.
CCRL, your place for F1 23.
Hello, race fans. Dresden here. It's time for round 3 of the Limitless versus CCRL tournament. I'll be hosting, and alongside me today is Trackside, as always. How you doing today, bud? Yeah, I mean, I can understand that, and we don't want to do any spoilers for those of you who haven't got to the race yet, but an interesting one. But yeah, it's the third round. The first two have had their ups and downs. They've been interesting races. Limitless has put on quite a show this tournament. What do you think? No worries. I was commenting about Blockman's grip on the lead of this tournament, and it really does feel like it's going to take a bit of some trouble for Blockman to lose this race. Yeah. Yeah, he'll absolutely need, well, he won't need, mathematically won't need wins. What he'll need is to outscore Blockman by a ridiculous amount. Like Blockman either gets no points or DNFs while Limitless closes that gap down. So unless Blockman has a terrible day, he's looking very good to take home victory tonight, and that puts Limitless in very solid position to take second place. But then at third, it opens up a little bit. There's a lot of names in contention for third place. Yeah. Yeah, man, it's like 3 setups a week, and then you got to throw it up on the fly. Yeah, I mean, eventually this will be our full-time job, and then people come and complain when we have little slip-ups. But right now, they're just gonna have to bear with us. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, NLC needs to have consistent performance today to hold on to third. That's what you know he's looking for. But he's got the best that CCR has to offer right on his hills, and all of them just, I don't know, it's a toss-up. Fourth place could go anywhere, and if NLC has a bad race or it's just slow performances in either track, he's going to be, they'll be nipping at his heels for third place as well. Yeah, we could get some wild stuff. I mean, if Limitless and Blockman slip out of the first or second race, it could be pretty close for everybody. We're gonna try to maybe spreadsheet or do some math on the fly, give you the top 8 uh, points getters at the end of this race. So we'll try to unofficially announce, because anything we declare on here is definitely unofficial, and will certainly be before the stewards get a handle on any incidences that happen today. So yeah, yeah, for sure. Getting the message that they're having they cannot hear your mic. It may be the same thing from last week.
Having trouble getting into the to the lobby, to be honest. Lots of technical issues today.
Yeah, I don't see you here. Limitless on board. Blockman is here. I don't see any surprise missing people. I've heard Jay Prince has some family things to deal with, so he will not be here today. That's unfortunate. Says you're back.
Awesome.
They can hear you. Now we just need to get you in the lobby, and we're all set.
Yep. Then I'll have to count and make sure I've got all fingers and toes and make sure everything's in the green over here.
Japan, a short qualifying at 13 laps around, I think one of the best racing tracks there is. Right? When you think about the way racing feels in movies. You know, when you watch racing, like racers fight in movies, it's a track like Japan that I kind of imagine those scenes being filmed at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say Japan is a place where when you have a guy like Limitless, who's obviously, head and shoulders above the competition that we can provide, you're going to see a lot of, or you could see him do some passes in some non-typical places on the track, because Japan really, there are overtaking spots throughout the lap. And if you have, 1 to 2 seconds more pace than the car in front of you, there's places you can get a pass done where you normally wouldn't see one. And that's going to be the opposite when we go to Austin after Japan. You're going to see passes down the straights in Austin at the end of those DRS zones, but nothing really in the middle of the lap. So I'm excited for Japan to see what Limitless can pull off.
Yeah, Japan's just a fun track with epic turns and some really difficult, just hairy moments where you seem to be on the edge of what the car can do. I'm thinking specifically of the Degner curves and 130R, and Casio seems to be a huge, like, I see such a difference in how fast people can get through Casio. I don't think people realize just how fast you can take that chicane section.
Yeah, one of the turns we're going to see that most demands grip is going to be turn 7, just coming out of there in the Dunlop curve. As you get that power down coming through those S's out of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, the car is already not wanting to cooperate coming out of there, and I imagine we'll see some cars get turned around coming out of that section of track. So
Yeah, a little difficult because you've got all the weight loaded to the left side of the car, and you're trying to accelerate into that wide uphill turn and get all the weight onto the other side of the car. It's a tricky little section. Just a fun track overall. I don't know if I've mentioned this for this race, but the story behind where the Degner curves got their names are pretty amazing, like spy shit from World War II stuff going on there. It's very
really,
it's very neat. Yeah, oh yeah, the history there is very cool, and it has to do with racing and sticking it to the Nazis and all kinds of stuff like that. It's very cool.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, it's fun stuff. So let's see here. We're gonna be starting short qualifying in Japan very soon, and let's make some predictions here. Right? It's NLC, and then Reimer, and then Guzman, and then Z-Milk. Right? That's the order there, fighting over third place.
Yes, that is correct. Yep.
Oh, you care to make a call? I mean, NLC's got the leg up. He has 10 points in hand, which is actually a fairly big hurdle for 2 races. What do you want to say here? Out of those 4, who do you think can grab third?
I've seen Leisig this past week, or Guzman, I should say, take a beating, and I'm just wondering if tonight is going to be the night where he just lets loose and kind of shows these guys that he's the guy that we know, the champion from our last elite season. So I've got my prediction that maybe Leisig going back-to-back wins tonight.
Man, that's a big.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Hey, I love it. Let's go CCRL pride, right? If someone's going to carry that flag against these very fast drivers that have come in here and put a pretty big stamp of domination on this tournament, Limitless and Blockman. They're very, very quick. But man, Guzman can do it. I was perusing through the stats, and there a couple times Leisig's got the same kind of consistency as these guys, and you're right about it. It has just been a run of really bad luck for season 2's champion, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has, and I thought we were hoping to see it turn around last week after that outstanding qualifying that he had. So we'll see if tonight is the night.
Is tonight the night? Are we gonna do a transition into Japan?
We're just going straight into qualifying.
Okay. So qualifying starts now. You know what? I don't think I have Limitless's numbers for Japan and Austin. I don't remember that being posted. Do you?
What was that again, Drez? I was reading some messages coming through.
No worries. Limitless's time trials.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think we got those.
Yes. So we're flying a little blind here. We had some information to go off of last time. I think what we can say is probably we can count on it being about maybe 0.4 faster than Blockman's times. That seems like his qualifying time's been about 0.4 behind Limitless's time trial efforts.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, so we'll go with that. Any surprises on the grid? It's a bit shorter. We had 20 the first day, 16 today, and you have to expect that.
Yeah, some of these guys who are maybe flirting towards the bottom, calling it quits. Yeah.
But we needed them. Here's what they needed to do. They should have showed up.
Yep.
Yeah, you know where I'm going with this, right?
They had a role to play. Yeah, they had a role to play.
Yes, they did.
Limitless is loving this, right? His work just got 4 cars easier.
Yeah. Yeah, we should have put their AIs in, right? And made it so that they would just slow Limitless down a little bit. We really did need the extra help there. Blockman, curveball, Komakopa out of the pits quickly here in Japan. Man, I'd ride on that Ferris wheel,
What's that?
Just the whole race. So there's a Ferris wheel over here that can see quite. Don't judge me. They can see quite down the start-finish straight all the way through Spoon and probably over this building to watch the S's as well. I bet you that Ferris wheel is the best seat in the house.
Man, I've been doing this broadcasting with you for a while, Drez, and you've always got these nuggets of wisdom, of knowledge, and I thought, here we go. There's a ride. This is a metaphorical ride, but no, we're let down because it's literally just a Ferris wheel.
Yeah, I just want to ride. That's how I want to watch them. When I finally go see a race in Japan,
okay,
I'll ride that Ferris wheel. That's what I want.
Yeah, there's one in Jeddah as well.
There is one in Jeddah. All right, I'm going to get on board with Blockman. I do want to see him tackle this race. He's coming into Casio now. So dicey, or at least used to be, to get the power down out of the Casio and around that downhill corner. Just the tiniest lift into Spoon, well, into the first curve, but to my mind, it's like the little Spoon. And then just connecting these S's all the way through here.
Yeah, that's the turn I'm talking about right there, Dunlop, where we're going to see some guys struggle to find grip as the session in the race, but as the session goes on and they start to flirt with what that line is, and some may go over it.
Felt good through Degner, through the hairpin. You have to love the way the Japanese name their turns. Turn 11 is just hairpin, yep. And the first turn is first turn, and then this is Spoon because it's shaped like a spoon. Feeney is out already. Both Aston Martins have retired. Not a surprise from Limitless, but Feeney being out, that is unfortunate.
That is surprising.
Yeah. Hard on the brakes. Casio, oh so important to get right. Gotta load up and attack those curves around the corner for the first time. It is a 127 flat from Blockman. Pretty decent. Z-Milk is... Oh, I need to get my information up so I can actually see who's next. Across the line to 29.3 and a 30 flat from, I bet you, yeah, Z-Milk he ran the entry into Casio a bit early and cut it off too much. Lap eliminated. A little scary as Blockman has a second and almost 2 seconds over Reimer on his first offering.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that's a bit more. I mean, Japan's a surprisingly technical track. Requires a lot from drivers, but that gap feels a bit much.
NLC now, best time with 28.4. Oh, there we go.
Here goes Guzman. That's better.
Still a second.
Yeah, let's go CCRL. Though Guzman's first offering 4/10 faster than what has been a very quick Italian NLC has been bringing the heat for this tournament. And Reimer, no slouch either, 28.7. He's quicker than everybody on the field. So Leisig here to race today. I feel like it's got to be today. It's been so many races in a row where something odd or unfortunate has happened to the McLaren driver, and right there, that 28 flat compared to the rest of the field, looking very, very good for third.
Yep, I'd agree. We see all of these guys except for Blockman and obviously Limitless in our elite tier, and usually times are a little bit closer than that.
Yeah, and I'm worried because when Leisig was winning season 2, that was controller, and I really think the switch to to wheel and pedals, I think it's worth half a second at least. Once you get used to it, once you get in the zone with it, gotta be. So Leisig, man, if times like that continue to show up, he may still be in the running here for season 3.
Yeah, he's taken a back seat the first few races of the season, but yeah, if he can get a handle on that wheel, he will be hard to beat.
Yeah, I feel like Reimer and Urban have been working together. The Mercedes-Benz always seem to have times that come in close to each other.
Yeah, they are very close again, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. First round out, we've got a much larger spread than we normally see. 28 from Guzman down to, well, let's say that Hemphead's on the medium, so we won't count that. But a 136 from Shashir's, 2.5 seconds of spread. Fairly wide margin.
Yeah, yep, that is a pretty big margin. Z-Milk, the only person now without a time on the board, and he is on his outlap.
Okay, we'll hop on board Ferrari. Yeah. It's been fun. This tournament, like, it's very difficult to design a tournament of this nature where you're lucky enough to really get the kind of dream finishes that you're hoping for. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, the disparity in skill is quite high. So when you're watching a grid, you want everybody to be close to each other, and that's what makes a grid worth watching, because the skill levels are close and everyone's really just giving it their all, and you get good stories out of that. But despite Limitless's clear superiority and Blockman's quite good as well, we have had some really great moments in the tournament, and I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah, the first round even just started off with a bang. And from there, it's been great. I was surprised at how well everyone did at the Vegas track.
Yeah, we had some. I mean, there are moments we definitely want to forget about, but at the same time, I mean, we knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
But we also had really fun. Like you don't that sense of urgency, the sense of like this moment can be special is it's hard to get every week.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, but Limitless giving us his time and kind enough to give us that interview, just a real treat for CCRL. Just grateful to be a part of it. I think Z-Milk will be heading in here. He's got a 121, 22, 23 as he comes around the final turn. He's going to put in a decent time. It's a 28-1. Just behind Guzman. I love to see that. Z-Milk and Leisig up on top there.
Yep, our two season 2 protagonists there. duking it out again here in the tournament. Only a tenth really between the two of them.
Yes, almost exactly a tenth. I love it. So Q1 now, 7 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. Blockman has put in a doozy of a time, a one and done with a 27 flat, 1 second faster than what CCRL is currently offering. And the only other big news is Feeney has an unexpected retirement early.
Yeah,
in Q1.
he spun out on his outlap.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
Painful. A lot of places to make mistakes like that here in Japan, I think. Will Blockman bother to come back out? I kind of don't think he has to. And there goes NLC, has put in a time of 28.070. He's improved by 4/10 and found his way onto the front row.
That's a lot of time to find.
Yeah, it is. Man, we're marching 2x2s here. It seems like, well, Ferrari, Mercedes next to each other.
And now the Red Bulls are together as Komakopa's moved up. Or Merck. I'm sorry, it was Merck. Splitting the Mercedes.
That time on the mediums, that's fairly interesting. I remember in 22, was it that the mediums or the hards are particularly good in Japan?
I think for a race tire, you're correct.
Yeah. Yeah, but for one lap, 28.8 on the mediums is pretty decent compared to the field.
You think there's 8/10 in the soft compound?
I mean, for one lap, you gotta think so.
Typically, I think it's maybe 4 or 5/10. I'd be surprised if there was that much time in it.
Well, yeah. NLC into the pit. 5 minutes and 40 seconds remain. Reimer is out. He's heading through the hairpin now. I also saw an AlphaTauri. Merck's coming in.
I believe Reimer's on his way in as well.
Really?
Yep, curveballs just crossed the line. Moved himself up into 6th.
So some rubbering in probably happening as well. You've got to think Blockman's got to come out one more time.
Yeah, Japan the circuit will evolve here. It's on the higher end of as far as track evolution goes.
I mean, you at least liked qualifying for Spa, didn't you?
Yes, and the sprint was good too, I thought. But
yeah. Well, you know how it is.
You still we had this discussion, was it a week ago, about where to place Oscar and Lando. You gonna stick with that where you landed last?
Well, I mean, I was thinking about it after qualifying. Man, I was pretty impressed. We'll save it for later.
Yeah.
I don't want to give too many hints away.
We've got some.
You know, not everybody. Like if somebody on this grid has spent all day practicing for this race. I don't want.
It looks like Blockman. Yeah.
27 flat, like it was nothing. Another round of laps about to start now. We've got a caution in turn 1. Does look like it has been cleaned up. 3 minutes and 42 seconds remain. NLC on a hot lap. I wonder if I could catch a hot lap with somebody we don't normally watch. Ermin and Coma. Let's give Coma some airtime.
In the Haas.
That with that flashy pink helmet, that's worth an extra 10th or 2.
I just downloaded F1 Manager 23 this weekend and started a season with Haas.
No kidding.
I like taking the back markers and bringing them to the front.
Like, you want to be the next Gunther,
Yeah.
right?
Yep, that's right.
Love it. Coma about to get hot right now. Let's go, Coma Copa. Traffic, paying attention. They got their heads on a swivel here in Japan. I think we gave them a hard time the last race out. Good game, traffic. I rewatched that video and you were like, people have two things they need to be doing: a fast lap and paying attention. You know what? I was listening. I was like, you know, he's damn right. They do need to do a better job with traffic.
Oh man, I forgot about that.
Like,
Yeah.
get on 'em.
Look, I call him like I see him. I'm a straight shooter, you know.
No. Strong opinions make good content.
Yeah, they're doing a great job
Coma's
tonight.
looking-
That's for sure.
Yeah, Coma looking pretty decent here. Sector 2 time about to come across the board. Looking for a big improvement here. Let's go, Coma. Oh, an Alpine having some trouble around the Degners. Coma's got 3/10 in hand. Gonna jump him up into the top 10.
Yep. And we'll see what he can do if he can add to that here in the last sector.
There's one curve where you can find like 2 or 3/10 if you nail it, and there it is. 4/10 total is improvement up into 8th. Goes Coma Copa. I'm gonna jump back to NLC now. Can he give Blockman something to worry about?
And the battle is on. NLC right now heading through the hairpin, getting ready to go through the hairpin, and Guzman right behind him. So we'll see of these two who's going to set the fastest lap.
Yeah, something's. I just got this, like it was an outlap, a whole second above his other time was NLC's pace there through sector 1. I don't think he's hot.
Oh!
In fact, having some trouble is NLC coming around Spoon.
Ouch.
Yeah, ouch. Shashir also has a retirement in the AlphaTauri tonight. NLC retires. Z-Milk is hot and dodging traffic as he comes out of the S-turn. We'll stay on board with Ferrari now. Some time in hand.
Ooh.
I just saw a negative. I didn't quite see how much though.
Guzman getting ever closer to Blockman. He's improved 3/10 on that last lap.
Good. Let's put a gauntlet down. Like, at least we're gonna keep him somewhat honest. And give us a time that gives us a chance at holding off Limitless for 13 laps.
And Blockman is out on track right now.
I'm still riding with Z-Milk, who has a 10th in hand. He's got somewhere close to what he needs to move ahead of NLC. Retired in the Williams, will not be fighting back. Can Z-Milk move forward just a little bit on grid? Here it comes across the line now. A 10th and change, but still just 4 thousandths behind NLC. Let's jump on Reimer, who heads down to Casio. A good entry, a good exit. Get the power down, Mercedes. Let's go. 25, 26, 27. It's going to be an improvement. Oh, but just not quite enough to move forward.
And just
Reimer,
when
5th place.
just when we thought we might have someone inching closer to Blockman, he goes out and sets a 26.8. That man is does not need a private investigator to find pace. I mean, that is unreal. He's just, I don't know where he's finding all that,
Yeah.
but that's a quick time around here.
Quick time, 26.8. Blockman, a full second faster than CCRL. Ouch. Blockman. And Blockman, man, he's staring down the barrel of a $650 payday and is looking very solid tonight. So, questions for our grid. Can Guzman finish ahead of Limitless? Can Limitless catch Blockman? Those would be fun questions to answer here.
Well, I've got a feeling we're going to get the answers here real soon, Drez.
I refuse to believe that Limitless is going to fight too hard into the spoon turn one. It's just such a dangerous place to be side by side. You know, I think he'll pick off one or two down the straight, but I wouldn't think he'd want to go side by side through turn one here in Japan.
No, I don't imagine he will. But I mean, that's risk versus reward, because probably a lot. I mean, obviously, the more that the pack is bunched up, the more opportunity you have to make places. But
yeah, I mean, but the other side of that token is it's only 13 laps, and it just doesn't seem like very much, you know, to get all those passes done. I think maybe attacking from the get-go might be the way to go. Either way, the answers are just around the corner.
all right, so we should get a couple minutes here while everyone manages their setups and their race strategy. So race should be on in just over a couple of minutes time here.
Yeah, and no formation lap, so we're just going to get right into it.
Yeah, still I haven't seen that there's any fix for that glitch for the formation lap yet.
Very frustrating.
Oh, Komakopa is asking in the chat if we've seen his new helmet. Did you happen to?
Yeah, that was that. I said something
you did,
about
you
it.
did.
The Haas driver with the purple. Like, we are tell him it's old news. We already covered that. But it was good enough to get a shout out already, so we like it.
I couldn't remember. I remembered the helmet. I couldn't remember who it belonged to. So I'm glad we did that. Yeah.
Yeah, man, we're on top of our game.
Yeah, who's he think he's dealing with here? Some amateurs? My gosh.
You leave the commentary to us.
Oh boy.
I'm hoping for a good one. Japan is Japan has just like drama roots in it, right?
Oh yeah.
Prost and Senna, like just taking each other out. You know what I mean? It's just, oh man, I love watching Japan.
A lot of history on this track.
A lot of history, and like the seasons used to end here, and it's just, I don't know, just a good track. A lot of fun to drive. And I think I'm gonna be glued to Limitless this time. I really just the kind of racetrack that Japan is. I do want to see him make his way through the field here. We'll be paying attention up at the front, but we've got to speculate. You think if Blockman gets away, that he's just gonna build a steady gap, and then it's how fast can Limitless catch up?
Yeah, without having Limitless's time trial numbers this week, we're in the dark, and so we're just gonna have to wait and see what kind of pace he's got around Japan.
Yeah.
High 25s, you think? Time trial time based on Blockman's time?
If it's not high 25s, it's low 26s.
Yeah.
It's somewhere in there. Yeah. You have to think. Like Verstappen's 8/10 faster than the field. The Q3 is just, and Perez is in the same car.
Same car.
It's time. Yeah, it's time for Perez to be replaced. I want to I want to see Leclerc in the second Red Bull. It's time to see It's time to see those. Like if Red Bull's going to dominate, if it's the Red Bull's dynasty, we should get to. Here we are. It's 1, 2, 3. Here we go, and a very quick start for NLC. Guzman, too, it was slipping back as Z-Milk's going to be alongside. Into turn one, it's Blockman from NLC, from Z-Milk, from Guzman. Oh, Guzman's back in front as we head into turn three, fighting his way back there. Reimer's in this mix as well. A good start. Doesn't look like we've had any problems on the get-go.
Yep, up to turn 6, and Limitless has made up as many positions, already up to 10th.
Yeah, I'm on board with the Aston Martin now. Looking around through Degner, but you've got to think we just follow here. It's the safest option. Very bunched up in front. He's got Curveball Urban, a deep send on the softs, and definitely takes care of curveballs. Oh, but something's happened there. What happened to Curveball? Did you notice?
He left. I don't know if he discoed or if he just got so embarrassed on that pass that he left in a hurry. But
well, it was a great pass from Limitless, who's now already into 8th place, but it was softs versus hards and just better on the brakes into the hairpin. I think I think I saw it disconnect because he had an AI.
yeah, he's back now, I think.
Okay, good. Limitless now chases the Ferrari of Bongit. He's got the AlphaTauri of Merck and the Mercedes-Benz of Reimer just ahead.
Keeping it close at the front. NLC only 4/10 back from Blockman.
Come on, let's go NLC. He's been quick in these tournaments and representing CCRL well, and there's a good fight going on between Z-Milk and Leisig as well, but my camera's trained on Limitless as he chases Bongit through the S-curves.
And he's gone with the softs. So he's going to try and get his overtaking done early and then go on to the harder compound to finish out the race.
Yeah, we should see an inside send here. There's the little switch and dives down deep. It's got the inside and the traction on the exit. But Bongit is fighting back there side by side as we head down to Spoon. But Limitless gets the power down and edges out the Ferrari before we get to Spoon. A nice little fight from Bongit there, not letting Limitless through easy.
Limitless's brake control is by far the best I've ever seen. I don't know how he does this.
Just this little pop out right there before the hairpin. You could feel it coming. But he's extracting the value of those softs against these harder compounds around him. It's AlphaTauri of Merck ahead. 3 laps of 13. NLC doing a really good job to hold on to Blockman. They have left Z-Milk 2 seconds behind. So you've got to think Blockman is actually towing NLC. So NLC holding on by keeping within that DRS range is what that feels like. Action 7, Limitless's Aston Martin still chasing Merck down. He's just gaining slowly, and I think through the Degners closing up. Will we get another send into the hairpin? He feels a little bit far back this time.
Yeah, not quite close enough to make a move there, but you would think with DRS down the straightaway, he is probably going to get him at this lap.
Yeah, DRS, that's right, available here on the back end, and he just needs a much better exit than his competition through the complicated Spoon complex. He does get it, but he's got a DRS chain ahead of him. Oh, no DRS either, actually, from anybody.
No, not back on that. Yeah, there's only one DRS zone on this track on this front straightaway.
Right. I don't know why I was thinking there's a DRS down that back straight.
There should be.
Should be. And decent exits through Casio. It is quicker for Limitless, though. It's going to be 3 wide. He gets a double pass. Ooh, into turn 1, Limitless past Reimer and Merck. That was a sickeningly good pass.
Oh Oh, man.
I was worried we were going 3 wide into 1, but the Aston Martin just sneaks by before turn 1 happens.
That was pretty good. I got to give it to him. That was ballsy for sure.
Ballsy. Now, Z-Milk and Leipzig have got to be thinking, right? They've got Limitless behind them. Do they continue their personal fight, or do they start to straighten it out? And it doesn't look like to me like the Ferrari is interested in ceasing the battle with his old rival.
Well, and they're on the, they're on the medium compound. I'm not sure even if they do quit fighting, if they've got anything for Limitless right now.
But you gotta look. Oh, but the softs, they can't last very long. Oh, we're side by side. Ferrari, McLaren. No, McLaren falls back before 130R. They're not slowing their fight down at all. They need a good exit to hold Limitless off here. I think they got it. It'll be DRS for the McLaren and for Limitless, though Limitless does appear a bit faster. Guarding the inside line is Guzman. And he will slip back, but Z-Milk's still ahead here, lap 5.
Man, lap 5 and Limitless already up to P4. He's only got a couple more passes to make to get to the front of this pack.
Yeah, I mean, Japan's technical. Japan is technical, and Blockman's distance from the rest of CCRL shows you that. And you've got to think that Limitless has that same kind of advantage. Will we see a send into the hairpin here? Action 4, no, still holds back, but definitely closing down the gap to Z-Milk ahead is Limitless.
And, I'll be honest with you, Drez. When we picked these tracks for this Limitless tournament, we tried to pick tracks that might be harder to pass, that aren't like a Singapore, and there we go. Limitless getting one in on Z-Milk there through Spoon.
And Z-Milk a little rough on his re-entry. He left space for Limitless to get through, but tried to sneak back in before Guzman could get by, and ended up bumping into Guzman. But oh man, Limitless deep into Casio, got a little sideways, but got the car back under control. And into the pits, those softs are done here. And man, did you see him slamming on the brakes there? Getting almost picking up 5 seconds, but did manage to get the car slowed down in time. On go the mediums, 6 laps to go.
Right on the limit.
Right on the limit. NLC has lost contact with Blockman, now falls 2.9 seconds behind. A pretty clean race here in Japan. And Blockman seems to have a stranglehold on it.
Now, see, this is the part where Limitless is going to be a little nervous. He's on fresh tires coming out in traffic, and these guys are going to think that he's already gone, right? So as he cruises up behind him, he's going to have to be careful with some of these passes.
Yeah, he needs to count on... but he can't stay behind them for very long either, because these outlaps are very important for his chances of getting to Blockman. He's got a wheel in. Oh man, Pontiac, a nice little switchback. Pontiac trying to close the door down, gets a little shovey. Limitless finds his way through there, and now stares at the back of Feeney.
Yep, and that's exactly what I was talking about. Some dangerous passes coming forth.
Yeah, I curveball. I don't think, because when you're used to somebody following you, you're used to somebody of your league following you.
Yep.
And so the speed at which Limitless is catching can be just surprising.
Yep.
Period. Even though it's an esports personality behind you, you just don't realize just how different it is. And there goes Feeney on the exit here. Limitless gonna be easily ahead. Now NLC is out from his pit stop and in front of Limitless, but by only half a second. So this is for position, the NLC Limitless fight.
And Blockman's going to have to come in soon to cover off the pace from NLC and Limitless.
nice little turn in, and NLC being so, like, careful. You don't blame him.
No.
NLC very carefully realizing that once the wheel's in, he's done fighting, especially through that difficult section of track he was going to be alongside Limitless with. And now we'll race for third place, it looks like. It's Blockman v. Limitless. Who is going to take this race? 6 laps left.
Blockman's still out there. Oh, no, he is in the pit now. So here we'll get our answer on this undercut.
He's definitely out ahead. I'm counting maybe 23, 24 seconds of lead time.
And he's out.
He'll have
he's
fresher
moving.
tires. So you should be Limitless past everybody but Blockman, you would think. Yeah, so Blockman ahead. It is a 4.2 second gap.
Oh, but look at this. Shashir opting to stay out in front. Is he going to slow Blockman down at all?
Yeah, well, 1.4 Blockman to Shashir, 3.6 Limitless to Blockman. Blockman needs to get his tires into the right zone. I'm going to get these tires up real quick, actually. Blockman on the softs, though. So a bit of an advantage there for the Alpine driver. And Shasher absolutely will be holding Blockman up. Just a little bit to go action too. Blockman now on the inside as we head into Spoon. Shasher gonna need to be careful as he fights. Does back out of it just before we get to Spoon. Blockman is through. The gap now is 3.3 back to Limitless. Now it's a real pace fight between these two.
Yep.
Blockman, Limitless.
Yep. Yeah, he's going to have to, man, I don't know if Limitless has got enough time to catch.
It's going to be tough. He had to throw his softs on early to fight his way through the field, and now he's on the mediums with 3 laps on them. And 3.7 to Blockman's brand new softs. A tall order. A tall order. Here, lap 9. It's 3.9. I feel like that gap's actually growing a little bit.
Yeah, it is. The gap is increasing.
Blockman looks locked in. It's now 4 seconds back to Limitless on the mediums. Blockman is quick. I feel like if I saw the two of them in a league together, I would not be surprised. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, a DNF from the Ferrari of Z-Milk.
Ooh.
Having some trouble around the Dunlap.
So that could take Z-Milk out of contention for third. That DNF right there.
Yeah. Yeah, that actually is a very big deal because he's not very far behind in the hunt for third. NLC though doing exactly what he needs to do to hold on to third place, and those early laps where he was clung on to the back of Blockman have definitely helped his chances out here.
Absolutely. And that third, that's still a $300 prize. So
Yeah.
these guys are going to scrap for it. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. NLC is 10 points ahead and looking very solid to add to that lead for third place. Merck quietly having a very good race here in Japan for AlphaTauri. Then it's Reimer and followed by Guzman. And we're fairly spread out from there. Let's head down to Pontiac Bandit and see if we can get a battle between him and SP Action 11.
DRS is open.
Yep, sliding to the inside. He does have a tire disadvantage, does Pontiac, but slides in there through Spoon and takes the place from SP.
That's impressive.
Yeah, good, a nice little turn there. Let's go action 6, Guzman versus Reimer. Guzman with the tire advantage. Pretty big rainbow spread of tires here in Japan.
Yeah, there is. I'm surprised to see anyone on the hards, especially this late in the race.
Man, now Blockman has definitely increased this gap on these softs. It's 7 seconds. I feel like Limitless has backed off and is just preserving his second place. You have to think he's holding on to tire and hoping that Blockman goes a little nuts.
I mean, at 7
Right?
seconds, I'd be surprised if he's still all the way in the pedal, but here we go.
Yeah, there's no
Guzman
way.
on Reimer.
Guzman Reimer. Very close here. Guzman on the, or Reimer on the hards.
Yep, just overtaken
And,
by Guzman.
Yeah. So pretty decent fight there. This basically playing out exactly how you would have predicted if you were gonna if this were a craft table, the way this grid has played out, it's got to be the sevens. You know what I mean? The highest probability of happening is a Blockman finish just ahead of Limitless with NLC, but I would have put maybe Z-Milk in there in fourth, but not much else that I would have changed. Bongit's doing well. He's in seventh, just ahead of Urban. Shashir and Pontiac are in the points conversation as well. It is the penultimate lap here in Japan.
So if Pontiac can finish in the points, this will be his first points of the tournament.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that surprising?
Yeah, a little. Just a little bit. .2 seconds. If there was going to be a late charge, I think it would have started by now. I believe Limitless is either pushing to the limit of these mediums or just settling in here at a comfortable second place.
He's got he's on the higher end of used tires on the grid right now at 6 laps on those mediums, so maybe starting to run out of life in those.
Man, you gotta think mediums. I mean, it could be. Got some older softs though, Merck's softs. Let's go Action 5. Maybe Guzman can make a move here on Merck's AlphaTauri.
He's getting close to being within DRS. If we can get DRS on this last lap, he could make a charge.
Just outside of the DRS detection range though right now as we head down to 130R.
So we got a lot of people in the chat tonight. Drez, we've got Untrained Pro is back. We've got Jake F1 2005 and JT. Appreciate all those guys coming out tonight.
And thanks for joining us. We've got really talented drivers on the field tonight. It's just if you enjoy watching good driving, you will be able to catch some here. Limitless just giving us lessons, that's for sure. Guzman slipping back a little bit from Merck. Merck's turned on the pace. It is the final lap. Let's head up to Blockman. Let's just give the Alpine a little bit of due as we watch him come around the hairpin. Only a few more turns to negotiate, and he will, once again, I think maybe even mathematically locking it out after a victory here. You have to think Blockman can just retire after this. He was close to 20.
He'll be only 15 points ahead.
Okay, good. So at least we force him to take part of Austin.
Yep.
He's come in. He's had pace close to Limitless and the advantage of starting in the front. He definitely had this. A big advantage. Limitless fights his way through the fields. Will finish 8 seconds ahead of the rest of the grid. Blockman for the win here in Japan, making it look easy. Limitless brings his Aston Martin across the line now. He grabs second place. NLC, who is in third in the standings, brings his car across third in Japan. To solidify that, Merck finishes just barely ahead of the McLaren of Leipzig. Guzman, 0.3 seconds. Behind him is Reimer. Behind him is Boggett, Urban, Shashir, and Feeney. Round out the points paying positions here in Japan. Yeah, that's good stuff. Oh, you know what? Feeney's got a penalty.
Yeah.
So it
So
might be
Pontiac, there you go.
Points. There it is. Good job, Pontiac.
Yep, got his
Bringing home points.
got his first points.
Sticking it out, for sure.
And there's more points to come. We've got a race in Austin coming up. Following this will be the last race of the tournament in Austin. So stick around because we've got more action coming.
Yeah, that's it. And man, we've been waiting for this. We were waiting for this for like 3 months, right? It was announced, and then it was like a 3 months wait for it to be here, and
Oh yeah.
and now we're about to start the final race. Feels like an epic chapter for CCRL. Man, I do wish though. I wish Blockman wasn't quite so fast. You want a CCRL if we're gonna get beat. If we're gonna get beat, I want it to be Limitless taking our money. You know what I mean? So I have to, as a completely biased commentator for CCRL's grid, which I love. Yeah, you only taking third place, a bit of a sour note, must be said.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we would wish it was a little bit closer, but
Yeah. Yeah, we only wanted one Limitless on the dang grid. I think that's probably what I'm trying to say. Blockman's very, very quick.
He's quick.
And a very clean, fair racer, must be said. And man, I'm rooting against him really hard right now.
Hey, so Jake F1 in the chat says he's going to miss this tournament. Well, hey, we do this twice a week here at CCRL. So even though it's not a tournament, we've got races on Monday and Wednesday night. So if you're itching for some racing to watch, that's really pretty tight. Come and join us one of those 2 nights.
Yeah, I mean, we have good racing Monday nights with Pro Tier. Pro Tier has spots available, I do believe. So if you're interested in racing with CCRL, you should reach out. And the Elite Tier Wednesday night's always a good show. Well, that was a good one. Now we travel to Austin.
Yep. Yeah, Austin up next. I'm continuing to chat here, Drez, but I am doing math so we can kind of get a idea of where these guys are at.
Yeah, I understand that. What I don't understand is why it says that there's a sprint. There's supposed to be a sprint race for the final.
I don't believe so.
There, never mind. It just disappeared. Short qualifying and 14 laps, and that's all that's left for this tournament. Yeah, Blockman and Limitless probably step forward equal amounts, with Blockman increasing his lead to maybe 19 points.
So it's more than I thought.
Yeah.
It's Blockman at 120 and Limitless at 94. So that's unofficial, but that puts.
Man, it's 26, isn't it?
Yeah. So Blockman has to DNF and Limitless has to win with fastest lap to tie.
Ouch. To tie. What do we do in the event of a tie? Have we,
I don't remember. Urban. Well, it'll go off of wins. So
Oh, which goes to
which goes to
Blockman. I
Blockman.
believe he's got 4 now
Yep.
out of a total of 6. You can't beat that. Cannot beat that. I complain, but the truth is, Blockman's driving has been great, and there's absolutely nothing to complain about what he's brought to these races.
Oh no, it's
So more power to him.
yeah.
But
He's brought the firepower. That's for sure.
yeah, yeah, the bazooka.
A bazooka.
The bazooka. You know, if I was gonna pick a track that's most like Japan, I think I would pick Austin.
Really?
Is that right? I mean, it doesn't have any of the bumpiness, right? I mean, the Japan's got a lot of like weird bumps and just, but in terms of like the types of turns and the way the track feels as you drive across it, I feel like honestly I feel like Austin might be a Japan on steroids, right? It's S section, it's bigger, its straights are longer.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of an S section that's more complicated than Austin's.
An S section that's more complicated.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I don't think there is one. Because the S section like starts at turn 3, and if you mess up one of them, you're done all the way until turn 10. Right? You're
Yeah.
just trying to just barely recover it. It is a very connected section through there. I'm running through all the S sections in my head right now.
Well, there's Maggots Beckett's.
Yeah, Maggots Beckett's, because Hanger will punish you if you screw up any of it. But and the straight following the S section here is not very long, so it's just the X section you mess up. But there's so many turns there.
Yes.
And they're just short little feed into each other.
I think you're
I'm
right.
Going through the whole. I don't think there's an S section that's more complex. And I absolutely adore. You were talking about your favorite camera back in Hungary, right? But there's a camera here that watches them come through the S section, where it just looks like they're just pumas, chasing prey. The cars look alive as they're coming through that section, and they're just gorgeous. Another fun feature I think here in Austin is that you have these really wide entries into both turn 1 and turn 11 that allow for you to attack. Oh man, as I'm talking hemp head, a little bit of trouble getting that power down around turn 1, which you have to be careful of because of that change in G-force that's added in.
Yes. Yeah. The
You
undulation.
come over the top of that hill. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've got to be gentle because you're coming over the top of that hill, that crazy steep hill of turn 1, and as you've just negative G just a little bit more than normal, and that changes the profile of how much grip you're putting down, and you can spin out easily around turn 1. Now let's hope Blockman doesn't have 8/10 on the field here in Austin. Though you'd think he would.
It's a long lap too.
Long lap, complex circuit. It's one of those. It's like Austria versus Singapore. It's just one of those places where the technicalness of the track really favors those guys that are very, very strong. Let's find a lap here. It looks quite gray. Are we gonna get some rain here in Austin?
Now that would be interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so
I'm ready for a wrinkle.
yes, yeah. So updated points. This is unofficial. So if I've messed up my math, you can blame a teacher from my elementary education. Okay. Top of the pile right now is Blockman with 120, Limitless second with 94, NLC with 63, Reimer with fourth would be El Guzman. He's taken over fourth from Reimer with 47, and then Reimer right behind him with 46. Z Milk with 33, SP with 14, and Curveball tied with SP 14. So some mini battles there with throughout the standings.
Yeah, a few. The CCRL Pride still on the board, and so a couple, and it's a big deal. Like third pays out 300, fourth pays out in the is it 200 something?
Fourth is 175.
175. So big difference, right, between third and fourth place. Quite a lot to battle for here. Times coming in. Blockman a 32.9, a full second over Z Milk's Ferrari, a 33.8, who has big pace on NLC, a 34.2. Man, does this seem like a track that Z Milk is gonna be good at. Those both the S section and the section after turn 12 probably rewarding the typical setup Z Milk's running.
Yeah, he's normally a high downforce kind of guy, and I think this track can lend itself to that kind of setup where you definitely lose time in between turns 11 and 12 with that, but you can make up for it throughout the lap.
Yeah, and a lot of grip required. 16 through 18, that big long right-hander, where you can get some spectacular side-by-side action. Some of my favorite fights happen through that big right-hander, and all of that leading into what must be the most difficult turn on the turn 19. A blind left-hander that you just really throw the car into.
Turn 19, you think is the difficult corner on this track?
It feels like it to me. I mean, if you take all the S together, I mean, I think that's where you have your biggest separation in lap time for individual skill levels. But just a single turn, 19 is the one that gets me here.
Okay.
Yeah, 19 for sure because you can't see it. You just gotta know, oh, this is the moment I turn in, and hope that you pick the right moment. That's what it feels like to me. What's your opinion here? What's
19
what's most difficult single turn?
That 19, I have issue with taking too much curb in that corner. So I'm always either too much or too little, right? And then if it's too little, you swing out wide and you get a track deletion because you're carrying so much speed through there, right? So you got to be very particular with where you put the car in 19. So I get that. I would say probably this right here where Leipzig is at. That turn, what is that, 8, 9? 9. As you're kind of moving back into out of the S's.
Yeah.
You're on the throttle pretty heavy. The track's falling away as you're cresting, going downhill through that turn. It's a lot to demand out of the tires in the car.
Yeah, on board with Bong it now, just as he's heading through that section. Yeah, you've got to enter it pretty aggressively and then get on the gas because it's a bit of a straight down to 11 after that. Hemphead retiring, no time on the board for him. He'll be in the back right alongside Limitless there. Any improvements up at the front? The NLC's on a hot lap. Now pretty far behind Z-Milk. You got to think NLC has been strong in this tournament.
Guzman across the
Gonna
line.
put in. Oh, there he goes. Look at that time. 33.5.
So 6/10 off a block man on his first run. That's closer than he was in Japan. We'll see if he can improve upon that.
Yeah. Guzman having very quick. It's usually the other way around. We usually see Guzman 4th or 5th after qualifying, and then just makes his way up through the race. But definitely still struggling a little bit. Here F1 23, here Season 3. Guzman's story getting kind of interesting this season, I think. Oh, NLC having a rough time through the S's, loses the car and backs out completely. Find another hot lap.
I think Bong it maybe on a fast lap here.
Yeah, feels hot for sure.
Yeah, and we're getting ready to see that corner I'm talking about as it comes up right here. That you're going to see the track falls away to the outside as you're cresting, changing elevation, and you're full throttle right there at that point in the track. It's incredibly difficult.
Yeah, and you have to have been set up well all the way through the S's before that.
Yes,
So you've got to get the car set up probably 3 turns before you start even negotiating that bit.
And it's not a hard turn in that if you take it wrong, you're going to be in the wall, but you can lose a lot of time messing around with how you take that turn for sure.
Yeah, Austin doesn't punish inaccuracy with wheels being turned off. Like we're not worried about safety cars here in Austin, but it definitely punishes skill differential because it can be a pretty tough track in places. Bong, it is still hot. Will he improve as he comes across the line? He does, jumping up into 6th place, a 34.2 for the Ferrari driver.
Z-Milk is getting ready to start his hot lap.
Okay. Jump on with Ferrari number 1. So Z-Milk 3/10 off Guzman's pace. I'd love to see the two of these guys battling a little bit more through this tournament. A good turn 1, hits the apex squarely, gets on the power, now heads into the S's. Really attacks these corners here. Solid through, loads up well, coming through the end of the S's, coming through trackside's tricky section. Feels very well. We're looking for an improvement. But does not appear. Looks like he's a 10th down or a 10th up. I always get confused about saying up or down. I always use in hand if they're doing better.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Up and down just messes me up. Really cuts 12, just all 4 wheels off, but it's not gaining time. It does not appear. Meanwhile, the Williams of NLC, a quick time from him, just barely beating out the Ferrari. 33.8 on the board.
Yeah, and he's got more than 4/10 in hand this lap already.
Will Z-Milk now into the pit. Z-Milk not improving this lap. And we'll have to try one more time. 5 minutes and 20 seconds remain here in qualifying. Blockman, once again, one and done, a 32.9. He's very, very quick compared to CCRL. Guzman, though, representing us well, 33.5. He's got NLC and Z-Milk almost tied right behind him, 33.8 for the pair of them. Merck's got a 34 flat, followed by Reimer's 34.1. Bong it a 34.2, as well as Comacopa with a 34.2. SP now in the top 10. Good to see a 34.3 from him. And Urban rounds out the top 10 with a 34.7.
Looks like NLC might be sporting a new lid as well. He's got some like Easter egg colors going on that helmet. I wonder if that's a new design.
Yeah, there's some pastel going on there. And I gotta say this as well. I love this. Like, if you're gonna have an advertisement, that Duracell battery
It's
just
perfect.
works.
Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't it? And it feels like, that little air intake. That's where you're getting you're getting your energy from. So it works thematically. It works graphically. It makes me want to buy Duracell batteries. All right, it's just a good advertisement. It doesn't take away from the car. It almost like it adds to it a little bit.
Yeah.
I just don't mind it. Yeah. Usually I'm pissed off with the advertisements.
I remembered seeing that for the first time in Miami last year because I don't think Duracell had a season-long engagement with Williams.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing that and I was like, that is really clever.
Yeah. It just works. It works with the color scheme, and it just makes you feel like there's really like they stuck a big ass
They
battery.
just put it right in there.
Yeah, I don't know why it works, but it definitely does. 3 minutes are left here in qualifying. On and out lap is Guzman. We're going to ride with him. He's got the closest time to giving Blockman some trouble from not winning this race just outright. 26, he's Guzman or Blockman has to DNF. And man, if he does, you really hope it's not the result of any kind of collision. You know what I mean? That would definitely be sour. A sour way to end what has been a fun tournament.
If
Lay down.
If McLaren brought that chrome livery, they could run an Energizer.
Hold on, I'm trying to picture it.
They got the black with the chrome.
I hated that livery though. I
What?
think that my least favorite. Yeah,
It's so
my least
iconic.
favorite
Wow.
McLaren. Oh, well, I did like those, the Coulthard and what was his name?
Hakkinen.
Oh, yes, I loved rooting for Hakkinen because he's just such a nice guy, right?
Yeah.
Taking it so seriously, and he was a really good driver. But man, I hated the color of those McLarens. Not a big fan
The
of
silver. Well, those are Mercedes powered before Mercedes got back in. Those silver arrows. Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I was talking about the 07 Hamilton chrome, him and Alonso chrome colored.
Ah,
You know what I'm talking about?
yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I know what
okay.
you're talking about. I like McLaren's livery right now, though. I'm ready for something new from them.
Yes. Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Though I will take them fighting up with the big boys.
Yeah, we can.
All right. Guzman sector 1 time, dead even with his other sector 1 time. He will need to find some time here through. Where are we? Heading into turn 11.
Caution there for maybe someone just getting out of the way.
Yeah, one of the Ferraris having a bit of trouble in the S turns. Guzman approaches turn 12 now. Doesn't take as much of that corner as you would think he would on this lap. Does have a little bit of time in hand, though it's just the barest of improvements.
A blink of an eye.
Blink. Like literally. Oh, whoa, whoa.
Oh,
Backman. Yeah, it got a little sideways there. Either trying to go over and say hello to Steam Milk or just surprised to see the Ferrari there. So time has run out. Z Milk is done. Guzman's done. Bongit's done. NLC, is he hot? No, he's finished as well. Urban does appear to be bringing it in slowly. I don't think he's hot as well. Is SP done? To the line. SP! Man, a mega lap right at the end where 33.6 jumps into third place. There's a return to form from the Alpine driver.
That's an excellent lap from SP.
Let's go. Alpine. Man, SP out of nowhere he's just been kind of I mean, out of the top 10 is the nicest way to say it, but that's the truth.
It is.
In this tournament. He's just 23. He either hasn't had time to bring what he was bringing at the end of season 2, but man, it's good to see SP back up in the top 3 in pole position, 33.6. He will have to work hard. And actually, we've got another surprise. Bongit in 4th. He's ahead of NLC and Z-Milk.
That is interesting. These guys finding some pace here in the closing stages of qualifying.
Yeah, I think there was some rubbering in that maybe some of the top guys did not take advantage of. And that's good to see. It means, right, your competition behind you, they're within a tire choice, they're within rubbering in of the track, they're there to take advantage of any mistake, any meat you left on the bone, they'll be gnawing on it.
Yeah. So some interesting, guys like Merck back in 7th, Urban or Reimer in 9th. Those guys definitely out of place from where they've been in this tournament.
Yeah, Reimer way out of place, it feels like. I've got my camera set up I'm trying a new one, but it's messing up my my ability to read the whole thing. We're doing this in the middle of the day instead of at night, and so this window is just this bright, like, angelic presence.
Yeah,
so I can't
it looks
have the
good.
camera facing it. Well, the problem is that I gotta have the camera face on, because if I had it where I normally have it, all you see is just
light.
It just looks like somebody's brights are on. Yeah. You can't see anything. So, all right. Well, the final race of this tournament, I will say once again a big thank you to admin here at CCRL. What just a fun thing to be a part of, and I'm very grateful. A big apology to everybody who lost money. There was some stiff competition to win anything here, but man, I'm so glad we put this whole thing on. What a fun treat to be a part of.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's been different. It's been a change of pace from our normal season broadcasts, and I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, and man, what a neat. I mean, you watch these guys, they feel very just. These guys have worked very hard, but it makes you understand just how special the really fast guys are when you see Limitless. And Blockman too, who's been great, just put on clinics, really show us how much more there is to find.
Yeah,
Just gives you something to root for.
It's been incredible to watch.
And one more, we'll send one more shout out to Limitless. And if anybody has not convinced that they can learn something from the esports driver from Renault, I think you just rewatch these tournaments and you'll get a chance to see. And it's www.coachlimitless.com. Go and sign up and see if you can bring some of those skills back here to the CCRL grid. And just a quick thank you once again to Limitless for the interview and for being such a good sport with us here at CCRL.
You know, Drez, we didn't talk about it on Wednesday night, but you were giving me some props on my driving last Monday night, and I told Bongit, or maybe it was Shashir, that I went and watched a Limitless video for Brazil, because there was a couple turns that I was like, I think I've got some time in hand in these turns still. And sure enough, just watching those videos, I probably saved myself 3/4 of a second, I bet, around Brazil. So.
Yeah. I mean, me learning, like, not just learning to talk about the tracks or the positioning of the cars, but knowing what a good lap really looks like.
Yep.
I mean, I did the same thing. Go back and watch those videos. I've actually watched quite a number of YouTubers presenting their best here for F1, and we're just gonna hop into the race. It's 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Let's go, CCRL. It's the final race in the Limitless tournament. Bongit takes us away. He's in 4th place. Got 2 Alpines jockeying for position. Blockman will fall behind Guzman. No, he's getting back alongside as we head into turn 3. The Alpine takes the position. It's Blockman's Alpine from Guzman, from Bongit, from SP, from Z-Milk. And it looks like we're all the way safe and secure here in Austin.
Yeah, a little bit of jockeying there out of turn 1, but everybody's headed the right direction, and Limitless already up into 9th.
Yeah, that irritates me a little bit. Really. Oh, and the send on the mediums as Reimer politely leaving space, getting the power down is the Aston Martin, and into 8th already on turn 1. Limitless is coming after Blockman's 1st place.
And
I think some pride on the line here.
Yeah, these two guys, I can't tell who's in whose head, because I thought for sure, Limitless is out on the mediums right now. He learned his lesson in saving the softer compound for the second stint, but so has Blockman done the same thing.
Oh man, I think you're maybe right there, and there goes Merck, leaving plenty of space, a lot of respect being shown to Limitless as he comes through the track. Maybe too much respect. Just maybe shove him a little bit. A little more elbows out would be nice, but he is faster than you, and if you're going for points, maybe the best not to battle him. We're into turn. Ooh, there was somebody sideways. It's a Ferrari. Did you see what happened there?
Bong it. No, he was turned around. I'm guessing just lost it going into turn 1.
That is unfortunate, because that promotes everybody, including Limitless, up 1. Bong it. It's Ferrari, and there goes a Mercedes getting out of the way. It's Urban leaving space. And Merck takes advantage of that politeness from the Mercedes. Merck through and Limitless through. Urban falls back too. Man,
is there a sign
in front of Limitless?
Is there a sign on his car that says "Get out of the way"?
Yeah, I think he might have ambulance sirens on or something. Because, man, a lot of politeness, guys. Come on, we don't have to be that nice. It's side-by-side battle just in front of Limitless. SP and Z-Milk going at it, and Limitless trying to find a way through. It's SP and Z-Milk they've switched back on each other over and over again. Now taking the inside through 16, 17, 18. Limitless finds a way through. Man, just no space in between him and the Ferrari ahead through 19. He does follow, and he is up into 4th place.
Wow.
Ooh. That was beautiful. That was a beautiful bit of driving there, because SP and Z-Milk were just trading blows, and Limitless danced his way through there without like wrecking that car. That was fun to watch.
Yep, just sat there and waited for his chance, and when the opening showed itself, he just let himself through.
Yeah, he really did. That just a beautiful piece of driving. Now, we'll fight with Z-Milk. And man, like, get into Z-Milk's head here. One of the strongest drivers on CCRL's grid does not like to take second place in any kind of competition, and you don't get as good as Z-Milk has gotten without really being good. And there goes Limitless.
Yeah, DRS just
Candy
made
from
that.
a baby.
Yeah, made that pass look so ordinary.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, and like, I'm trying to set the emotional tone there. You know, like, for just how devastatingly good the difference is. Because Z-Milk is no slouch at all. I know I could not go head to head against him, and there goes Limitless, making it look easy. He now has Guzman ahead, 2.3 seconds, and then another 2.3 to find Blockman. Limitless in a very good position, setting fastest laps here, lap 3. And oh, we've got a safety car.
NLC, what's NLC doing all the way back in 14th?
An early
Taking
pit,
advantage?
too, it does appear.
Yeah.
Has he? Did he start on the softs?
He's onto the
Get
hards
tires
now.
up fast enough. Yeah, hards probably go to the end. May have grabbed himself 7 or 8 seconds under this virtual by getting the pit done.
Could be a good strategy. We'll see.
Could be. Now, is anybody threatening NLC for third place? Like, can we examine that a little bit? What was the point spread between him and fourth place?
There's 17 points between himself and Reimer.
So Reimer would need something like a win versus
yes, yeah.
because the points differential between fourth and fifth not high enough to make up 17 places or 17 points. So man, NLC just needs to score something decent, doesn't he?
Yep.
It's an outside strategy he's on right now, though. But it doesn't look like a bad one, I don't think. Let's go action, maybe 6. SP on the back of Merc. Got Reimer behind as well. Shashir's in this mix. And then we'll keep an eye on Limitless and Guzman as that gap closes down.
One thing to watch out for in Austin is the way this track is and the way the tires degrade. We will see some track limits penalties probably start popping up towards the end of these stints.
Yeah, especially when you're trying to push through the S section, you can pick up a little bit. Well, you can get all 4 wheels off the track, I think is what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
SB falling back, does look like he's getting into the clutches of Reimer. I'm action 7, but I'm watching action. Ooh, Reimer sideways, trying to get the power down, got it on the rumble strip and lost control of that car. Let's go back up action 3 now. As Limitless is chasing down Guzman, looks like he's got all the speed he needs down this long back straight and will be ahead heading into turn 12. Limitless now looks at a 3.4 second gap on equal strategy with more than half of the race remaining. Prediction time.
Oh, man. So
it's prediction time.
Yeah, Limitless has got the fastest lap right now. He needs to pass Blockman and give him a nice shove as he goes by to win this. Well, he still wouldn't win, I guess, because
it cannot be as egregious, right, as Schumacher's shove. What year was that?
That was on. It was. Oh, why can't I think of his name right now?
Yeah, you know which shove I'm
Yes.
talking about though. Is that's the important part.
The son of oh, why can I not? Damon Hill.
Damon Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was in
And
Canada,
is
or was
Canada
it
right? No,
Australia?
no, I'm thinking Japan,
No,
honestly.
no, I don't think it was Japan. It was somewhere where you come around and there's a wall immediately.
Is it?
Yeah,
No, I'm thinking an inside, like he let himself, well, you know what? I'm going to look it up because,
I think it was
but the point is,
93.
is that, yeah, you know the shove I'm talking
I know
about.
it. Yeah.
It's like the shove heard around the world. Even the commentator was like, you can't do that, Schumacher, right? Like the moment he did it. Limitless is gaining. He's 2.7 seconds now behind Blockman. He will be within parity. This does look like Limitless's race to win here in Austin.
Yep, I would agree with that. You know, Dresden, we've seen some shoves like that with a guy whose name rhymes with McMappin in the not so recent past, but
I feel like look, we lost Hayden from the grid,
we did.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but not. I don't think necessarily because of the driving he displayed, but maybe some other issues in Discord. I don't know. I'm getting it all secondhand, but I I really want a driver like that. That's close to that kind of like pushing the boundaries a little bit, you know. I really did like the way he drove. I just wish the personality and his fit with the culture here in CCRL was just a bit better.
Yeah, it's a
But
shame.
yeah, it is a shame. I like getting elbows out, knives out for the fight, as long as it's within like what is really clean, but really pushing those limits of what's clean because man, you get dramatic stories that way. But that brings me back to the point I'm trying to make. That Schumacher push, that was like I was such a big Schumacher fan until that moment, and after that, I was so devastated. I just rooted against him. It's true. It was just too blatantly ugly for me. Into the pits goes Blockman and Limitless at the same time. Both of them
Ooh.
will come off the mediums at the same time. You'd be surprised if there's a pit overtake. Though I do wish it was a little bit more like I wish the mini game was more difficult.
Oh, for
Onto
the
the
pit stop?
softs. Yeah, because I actually want the pit stops to vary a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. And no surprises there. Blockman and Limitless in and out at the same time. 1.4 seconds separates these two. It's just going to be a battle for who's fastest here in Austin. And right now it's looking like it's Limitless.
Z-Milk opted not to come in that lap, so he's either overcutting or maybe going to try and slow these guys down at the front.
I would bet he just has a little more tire in hand. He's 9 seconds ahead. I bet you he'll be in the pits before they get to him. We've got a bit of spread here. We can head back quickly, I think, to Action 8. NLC on the back of SP.
Yeah, now remember, he made an early pit stop onto the hards. He's been fighting his way back through the field since then.
We will need to watch ahead. Once Limitless is inside of 1 second, we will switch back up to the front. That will be for the lead of this race. Only 6 laps remain. A big congratulations. Yeah, there goes Z-Milk into the pits now. A big congratulations once again to CCRL's admin. They put together a big idea and it's executed, and I think overall this tournament has been a lot of fun to be a part of. We'll head back up action 2. We're just going to watch Limitless and Blockman, two titans of driving skill, going at it.
The accuracy needed to drive this track and be consistent for, even just 14 laps under this kind of pressure is pretty extraordinary.
It really is. And when you're racing against someone like Limitless and Blackman, they're pretty close, and they're so at the extreme range of what talent can be in this virtual space that the tiniest margins are what separate these two. So I'm paying very close attention to every apex, every exit, listening to the way the engine is behaving as Limitless gets the power down, and you just get a sense for what it's like to really extract every ounce of value that's possible in every moment. 1 second now within DRS range. Is the detector? Where is? Oh, they're
so
past
yeah, the detection is
he's gonna have it
right outside of 18.
No, he does have it. DRS is open, and only really worth about a 10th there. Though I don't expect to see him fall back very much. Well, let's watch through the S's.
Yeah, how much has Limitless used his tires already just to get into the DRS zone?
Yeah. And the battery battle, it does appear to be in Blockman's favor right now.
Yeah, if Blockman wins this tournament, it won't be something he's lucked into, other than the fact that he's been able to start most of these races at the front.
Yeah. It has been. I mean, CCRL's grid has a very, like, the talent here is very close to each other. The midfield's all close, the top field's all close, the backfield has tightened up. So the grid itself is this organism that's very self-contained, like very fun to watch in and of itself. If Blockman was part of CCRL, it would be like Verstappen is currently, pole 8/10 faster than the rest of the grid.
Yeah, I'd be commentating somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't want to see it. And honestly, CCRL's grid is well, like, the competition here is quite well. Like, I wouldn't want it to be any different.
Yeah.
I kind of like Blockman's so good, but I wouldn't want to see him on grid every week. I wouldn't want to see Limitless here every week. This is just such a fun, like, skirmish. But man, a whole season of this, no, I'd be irritated.
Yeah, because you want a little drama, right? Like,
a big development here on lap 11. It's a safety car. Who is out? It's Pontiac Bandit, who has found some trouble. A full safety car. Does that shake us up at all?
well, it'll give us a last-minute shootout, and I'm wondering if these guys have enough time to take advantage to pit for some fresh tires.
Do they have to?
I would think they should. I think they do have to, because the rest of the grid probably will be in to do so.
Yeah. Oh man, these calls, they get squirrely for me. The safety car ends with at least 2 laps left every time.
If I'm Limitless,
does not include.
I'm definitely grabbing fresh rubber, because you got nothing to lose. You got a 15-second gap behind you. Does Blockman come in as well? And I think knowing that Limitless is definitely going to, Blockman has to as well.
This is that you stole the reasoning right out of my head. So does he do it? Yes, he does. Blockman and Limitless, and now there's no point in not going for it. You think Guzman Z-Milk must follow suit to have a chance.
Or are they just going for track position? I don't even know if they have time.
Guzman's staying out. Z-Milk's actually, if they all stay out, it's better for all of them, right? Because now there's like a bit of team action going on, right? If none of them stay in or none of them go in, it's better. Do they get the track position though? It doesn't look like
No,
it.
they don't.
No, Blockman and Limitless are in and out before it, so it doesn't matter. They should have dived in. I thought we were going to get 4 or 5 people ahead of Blockman and Limitless with only 2 laps to go. That
would have been
interesting.
interesting.
A little bit of a twist.
They had already worked up a 15-second gap though to Guzman in just a few laps after they had just pitted for softs.
Yeah, look, at this point, I'm tired of rooting for them because it was only 14 laps, and that was too much of a gap. They're both very, very good, but yeah, I'm ready for us to challenge them. And can something special happen here? In the last couple of laps, you don't really think so. I think this is hurting Z-Milk or Lysig a little bit because he's on those mediums and now everybody's bunched up behind him.
Yeah, but Z-Milk carrying around a penalty. So even if he gets past, Lysig just needs to say, on his gearbox.
Yeah. So let's get in while we have some time. The safety car will be in this lap. How is third place looking given the grid? It's Guzman looking like he's going to take third. Let's assume that's the case. Are we getting any shakeups there for third or fourth place?
NLC is still in the points, so it's gonna have to come down to final calculations.
Yeah. Lysig, Guzman third and fourth right now. We are waiting to get the final few laps underway for the Limitless versus CCRL tournament. And will Limitless get the pass finally done on Blockman ahead? Here we go.
He's got
lap 13.
Got a great exit.
Action 2. Can Blockman hold off Limitless for 1.5 laps? No DRS either.
Wait.
This actually feels like a bit of a test for Limitless here. Just because of the no DRS.
I feel like on fresh rubber, Limitless is faster.
We're about to find out. He's all over the gearbox. 0.4 behind as we head into 11. And they've left Lysig 1.6 behind in the matter of half a lap. Really good exit from Limitless. 0.3, 0.34, 0.37. He is gaining down the back straight a little bit faster with the drafting done. Man, just really, really close. Any mistake from Blockman and Limitless will be all over him.
Blockman taking, 14 a little wide.
Got a little bit of acceleration slide as he came out of 12 or 13. Following quite closely through 19 now as we head up. It's going to be the beginning of the final lap here. These two locked in a knife fight. There will not be DRS. Can Limitless find his way through? He's got a fastest lap there on the penultimate lap of 33.8. We head into turn 1. Oh, the little bit of a sin. Got a wheel in and leaving space is Blockman, but the better exit belongs to the Alpine. Following through the S section will be Limitless.
And he is all over the gearbox. His Blockman starting to feel a little bit of pressure here.
A lot of pressure, I would say. Man, that little bit of a little fencing move to get that wheel in and leaving space. Blockman very, very fair. Now, this is his last best chance, and Limitless knows it deep in so that he can get the acceleration out. You cannot be tucked up underneath a car more than that. 1.3 1.3, 1.1. Now slipping to the outside as Blockman guards the inside. He will be slightly ahead. Deep on the brakes. He's got to leave space because Blockman's still fighting back. He's got the inside into 13, and that looks to be enough. It's Limitless through on the final lap. The Aston Martin taking first place.
What an unbelievable battle.
No DRS. That tells you something. Here's what we can speculate. Oh, still fighting back. Blockman thinking about it. No, we'll follow. Here's what we can speculate. Blockman is a good half second to 7/10 faster than CCR's entire grid, and Limitless just passed him with no DRS within 2 laps. What a show we got from 2 very talented drivers. It's Lysick grabbing 3rd place, holds on to it from Merck in the mediums. The Merck takes 4th. It's Z-Milk's Ferrari in 5th. NLC will take 6th. SP in the points grabs 7th place. Reimer disappointing 8th. He's been good lately. Shashir grabs 9th, and Erb will take 10th place. And if you'll hang on with us, we're probably furiously calculating, I would think. But you've got to think Blockman is a definite for first place, Limitless definite for second. NLC's got to have 3rd place. It's 4th that we're curious about.
Yeah, I've got to do the calculations here, but as soon as these points come up, we'll grab a screenshot, and I think you're right. I'm Blockman's for sure first, Limitless for sure second. I think NLC has managed to hold on to 3rd.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, congratulations, Blockman, and thanks for coming to race with us. We did need some spots filled, and man, did he just bring a whole boatload of talent. And actually, if we're being completely honest, the Limitless was really only challenged by Blockman for the majority of these races, and that was just a fun finish here in Austin between the 2 of them.
Yep, that was a phenomenal finish. So NLC at 71 points. I think that is going to keep Guzman. Yeah, that is going to give NLC 3rd place, and I believe that's going to put El Guzman into 4th.
4th place, and that jumps a few then. Because I think there was at least 1 or 2 ahead of him coming in today. So Lysick having a good performance for McLaren does jump up a few places, which is worth a very big chunk of change there. 4th place.
Yep. So I've got.
So who's 5th? Can we have it?
Yep. So it looks like your top. I've got top 7 right now. So I don't have enough info in front of me to get the last number 8, but number 1 coming in, Blockman with 138, Limitless second with 120, NLC in 3rd with 71. 4th we have Guzman with 62. 5th will be Reimer with 50. 6th, Z-Milk with 43, and then 7th, SP with 20. So that's unofficial results, and we probably are waiting on maybe some steward inquiries possibly, and then my math could be wrong as well. But unofficially, that's your results.
Well, SP quietly in there in the points, just gonna be happy with that result. And man, NLC, nice job, but a little rough to start the tournament, but he kept the performance high and didn't let that ruffle his feathers, and has come home strong for a good finish in the tournament. Once again, a big thank you to Limitless, big thank you to Blockman, and a big thank you to CCRL admin for the opportunity. It has been a lot of fun. And a big thank you to anybody who has watched all 6 of races with us. It's been a lot of fun to see CCRL take on some greats.
Yep.
What do you say?
Yeah, it's been awesome. we appreciate everybody stopping by to watch. We know we've gotten some traffic from Limitless, and we appreciate that for sure. As we go forth, we've got, like Dresden said earlier, we got spots if you're looking to race in the pro tier. But if you're just here to watch, come watch us Monday nights and Wednesday nights for pro tier and elite tier. We get started at 9 and 10 o'clock on those nights. So more action to come over the weeks, and more of what you just saw.
Yeah, good racing stories to look forward to. Come join us.
Absolutely. Well, thanks, folks. On behalf of Dresden, I've been Trackside, and CCRL appreciates y'all coming out. This has been an awesome tournament. Keep living life to the checkered flag, and we will see you folks soon.
Good night, everybody.